The jet bridge connecting Terminal C to Flight 2710 bound for Washington, D.C., was a narrow, metallic tunnel steeped in the usual pre-boarding quiet. Outside, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport was its usual mid-morning chaos, rolling luggage wheels, overhead announcements, and the smell of airport coffee thick in the air. But inside the gangway, time had slowed. Something deeply unusual was unfolding. Special Agent Alana Reed, a sharp-featured, composed black woman in her mid-30s, was dressed in business formal, a cream silk blouse under a sleek black blazer and tailored slacks. Her leather briefcase was tucked firmly under one arm, her posture upright and focused. She had just handed over her boarding pass to the flight attendant, a young man named Brandon Hayes, who stood at the threshold of the Boeing 737 with a warm but practiced smile. As Alana took her first step onto the aircraft, a voice sparked from behind, sharp enough to slice through the ambient airport hum. "Stop right there. You, hold it." Startled, Alana turned, heels clicking softly against the metal floor. Two airport police officers in dark blue APD uniforms approached with speed and authority. The older of the two, stocky with a ruddy face and a prominent badge that read Sergeant Patrick Bowers, 4821, reached out and seized her arm with no explanation, jerking her off balance. "Where do you think you're going?" Bowers growled, his grip bruising. Alana straightened herself, pulling her arm back with controlled firmness. "I'm boarding this flight, like every other passenger." "What's going on? You don't look like a regular traveler," he sneered, his eyes crawling over her blazer, her briefcase. "You look like trouble. What's in the bag? What are you up to?" The second officer, leaner and clearly younger, with the name tag Officer Darren Cole, 5109, lingered behind Bowers, visibly hesitant. His eyes darted from Alana to the flight attendant and the slowly growing crowd of passengers stuck behind them, watching. "Check her documents," Bowers ordered. Alana, her FBI training locking her spine into calm, pulled out her Georgia State ID and her boarding pass, handing them over with grace. Bowers snatched them, gave them a cursory glance, then tossed them back at her with utter disdain. "This means nothing. You think dressing sharp gets you a free pass? You people are always up to something. Dirty money, fake jobs, phony IDs. Seen it all." Alana's jaw tightened. Her voice remained clear. "Officer Bowers, what you just said is discriminatory and uncalled for. Unless you have probable cause or a specific legal reason, this is harassment." The air seemed to freeze around them. Passengers were wide-eyed, some holding phones, no one daring to intervene. "You don't tell me how to do my job," Bowers snapped, clearly agitated by her directness. "You want to get loud with a cop at an airport? You've got a lot to learn." He turned to Officer Cole. "Cuff her." Resisting a lawful order, Cole paled. "Sir, maybe we should do it now." Shaken, Cole reluctantly stepped forward, unfastening the handcuffs from his belt. Alana took a step back instinctively. "You have no right," she said, louder now, addressing both of them and the silent witnesses. "I am not resisting. This is an unlawful arrest." Bowers shoved her into the metal railing of the jet bridge. "You are now." The cuffs closed with a final click, cold steel against her wrists. Humiliation washed over her in waves, each sharper than the last. She had been assaulted, handcuffed, and accused in full view of travelers, of employees, of civilians who could say nothing, because the aggressors were the ones wearing uniforms. Brandon Hayes, the flight attendant, stood frozen, his smile long gone. His eyes mirrored the disbelief of everyone else who had watched a federal agent, but they didn't yet know her title, be manhandled for no discernible reason. But Alana Reed wasn't ordinary. Even as they forced her down the jet bridge, even as Bowers barked about her attitude and Cole avoided eye contact, she was scanning, processing. Her FBI instinct switched on. She noticed the dome-shaped cameras in the ceiling, counted 3 within visibility, noted their angles, their ranges. She didn't shout. She didn't cry. She asked questions, pointed, calm, legal. "What charges am I under arrest for? Can you repeat your badge numbers aloud? Do I have access to counsel?" Bowers ignored her. He was dragging her toward a side exit near the security checkpoint. Cole followed, eyes still down. They passed the waiting area where curious travelers whispered behind hands and cell phones. A few began recording. Alana used the brief window to project her voice just enough to be heard. "I need to make a phone call. I have the right." "You don't get anything," Bowers snarled. "You're going to the station. Keep moving." Then she did something neither of the officers expected. Alana stopped walking, planted her heels. In a voice that rang out with unshakable authority, she said, "I am Special Agent Alana Reed, Badge 7358, Federal Bureau of Investigation. You are unlawfully detaining a federal officer in the line of duty." Gasps. Dead silence. The airport around them froze. Cole's mouth opened, then closed. Bowers blinked, stunned, his swagger evaporating. "FBI?" he stuttered. "Prove it." Even with her hands cuffed behind her back, Alana dipped her shoulder and revealed the official FBI credentials tucked inside her jacket, her ID, badge, full authorization. The shine of the badge under fluorescent lights silenced the last remnants of doubt. Cole stumbled backward, visibly trembling. "Oh my God." Bowers went pale. No. You didn't say that." Alana stood taller. "I did. You assaulted a federal agent. That's a federal offense." Brandon Hayes, Sarah Kim, the gate agent, and dozens of travelers now encircled them at a distance, their expressions a mix of awe and disbelief. Alana turned to Sarah. "Radio Airport Command. I need the supervising officer at this terminal immediately." "Yes, ma'am," Sarah said, bolting to the desk. Alana then activated her phone's voice assistant with a breathy command. "Call Evans." Her call connected instantly. "Reed," came the voice of ASAC Robert Evans, her superior. "I've been detained, unlawfully. ATL Terminal C, Gate C12. Officers Bowers 4821 and Cole 5109. I'm safe, but need backup. Now. We're coming." Within minutes, Sergeant Michael Thorne, the supervising officer for the terminal, arrived red-faced and out of breath. His eyes darted between the crowd, the officers, and Alana, still cuffed but now flanked by two visibly panicked subordinates. "What the hell is going on?" Thorne barked. Bowers opened his mouth, fumbling excuses. "She looked suspicious, we thought." "She's an FBI agent," Alana interrupted, producing her badge again. "They stopped me without cause, used racial slurs, and physically restrained me." Thorne's face drained of color. Behind him, Evans and 3 other FBI agents in plain clothes stepped into view. "Agent Reed," Evans said calmly, "are you okay?" "I'm fine," she replied. "But I want these officers disarmed and suspended. Immediately." Evans turned to Thorne. "This is now a federal matter. I'm instructing you to place Officers Bowers and Cole on administrative leave. Hand over their firearms, badges, and radios. Now." Thorne complied. Humiliated, Bowers and Cole slowly handed over their gear, their heads bowed. The transformation was complete, from arrogance to accountability in less than an hour. Alana directed that the scene be secured. She identified key witnesses, Sarah, Brandon, several passengers, and asked for all surveillance footage to be preserved. Bowers and Cole were led away in silence, their careers unraveling before a growing crowd of stunned onlookers. Over the next 2 weeks, the Internal Affairs Division of APD launched a formal investigation under pressure from both the FBI and civil rights groups. Detective Lisa Moreno led the case, gathering testimony from Alana, the officers, gate agents, and civilian witnesses. Alana's statement was clear, composed, and damning. Cole, broken and remorseful, confessed fully, detailing how Bowers initiated the stop, used racial epithets, and demanded the handcuffing. Bowers lied, deflected, and implicated Cole, but his story crumbled under video evidence and mounting testimony. The final report spanned over 60 pages. It concluded that Bowers and Cole had committed multiple violations, unlawful detention, racial profiling, excessive force, and abuse of authority. Chief of Police Daryl Simmons had no choice. He signed the termination orders himself. The announcement came quietly but decisively. Both officers were fired, barred from rejoining law enforcement. Alana received a personal apology from Chief Simmons and formal acknowledgement from the FBI director for her professionalism under fire. She boarded a later flight to Washington and went straight to her meeting. The experience left a scar, but also a lesson for the system, for law enforcement, for every person watching. Justice, though delayed and imperfect, had been served. And Agent Alana Reed, standing tall once again, had reminded everyone what it looked like to uphold the law, even when it was used against her.